Good morning everybody and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Grace. I am an Oregon-based lifestyle vlogger, teacher, wife, dog mom, and a newly mom-to-be. If you haven't heard yet, I just found out that I am pregnant. I just found out on Tuesday actually, so this last Tuesday. It's all very new and it's all very exciting. If you haven't seen that video yet, make sure to go watch it. It's finding out that I'm pregnant and telling my husband, and seriously, it's my favorite video I've ever made. It's just, that was such an incredible, magical, life-changing moment, and yeah, I just am so happy. So currently I'm about 5 weeks pregnant. I don't know exactly because I haven't had my first doctor's appointment yet, but based on my dates, I'm guessing around 5 weeks. And that's what my apps tell me too. So that's what we're going with for now. Today though, I'm going to be doing a 4-week update for you, as well as filling you in on the very first signs and symptoms of pregnancy before I even found out, how I found out, and then some symptoms and emotions I've had since then. So that's what today's video is going to be all about. And you know, it's still very early on, and I realize that, and anything can happen still, but I just wanted to make this video because I knew I'd regret it if I didn't. So if you haven't yet, make sure to hit that subscribe button. I am going to be documenting my entire pregnancy and my entire journey into motherhood. This is my first pregnancy. I'm going to be a first-time mom, and it's going to be really exciting. So I'd love it if you would subscribe and follow along on that journey with me. So let's go ahead and rewind a little bit back to before I even found out. We've been trying for a couple months now to get pregnant, so I was definitely on the lookout for, you know, signs and symptoms of pregnancy. If you've ever experienced that before, you know what I mean. You're so in tune with your body and just like, ooh, what's going on in there? So the funny thing is I actually really didn't think that this would be the cycle where I did get pregnant, but it is. I had a couple of symptoms that I noticed for sure, but I wasn't necessarily attributing to pregnancy. It's really hard to tell the difference between like if your period is coming, or if it's just a hormonal thing, or just kind of sick, or it's pregnancy. So that's kind of where my head was at, like what is going on? But I did notice one of the first things before finding out is that I started to break out quite a bit, and I normally have pretty clear skin and I'll get, you know, an occasional little pimple or two, but this was like more than I was used to for sure. It was all up in my T-zone. I had zits all over my face, which is okay, but that was kind of weird, and I was wondering what was going on there. I was also quite emotional and moody. Sorry, Davis. I was also a little bit nauseous, but nothing that really like raised alarm. I just noticed like maybe 3 times in the morning before I had breakfast, I just felt kind of queasy and yucky, and then it would normally go away as soon as I would eat something. I had some cramping for sure. I'm not sure if it was implantation cramping. It could be. I didn't have spotting or anything like that, but definitely noticed some more intense cramping about a week or so after I ovulated, so that could have been implantation. Let's see. I also started to notice that I was very bloated, and that, you know, my stomach is normally a little squishy. It was more hard, which seemed strange to me, and I also had a bit of a low backache too. What else? I have my notes here if you're wondering, just so I don't forget anything. I think my biggest tip, like that something was off, was I've been tracking my BBT this cycle, so that's basal body temperature, for those of you that don't know that. And I noticed that, can you hear my dog whining? Okay, hold on, I'm gonna let him in. I'm back, and Otis is here now too. He has been so sweet and clingy since finding out. It's really funny. I don't know if he knows what's going on or if he just thinks I'm acting differently, but he's been very clingy, which is fine. Okay, let's see. Bloating, backache. Oh yeah, so I was tracking my BBT every single night, and you can really stop doing it after you ovulate, but I was just curious what was gonna happen. And I noticed that instead of my temperature dipping back down right before I was supposed to get my period, it was actually still rising, which seemed really strange to me. Because that's not really what is typically about to happen if you're about to get your period. But it is a sign that you can be pregnant. I think that was probably my biggest eyebrow raiser, that something might be going on. Okay, and then, let's see, finding out. Oh my gosh, seriously the best feeling, the best day. It was incredible. So I woke up, I waited till 11 DPO to test. I was very proud of myself. It's hard to wait, and that was the day of my expected period. So Davis was working in the other room. I was in here, decided to take a pregnancy test. I truly did not think that it would be positive. I was like pretty much 100% sure I was making the video for nothing, right? And that it was gonna be a no, and it was another month of trying. And if you watch that video, you can see in the beginning I almost seem a little bit sad, and it's because I'm kind of just emotionally preparing myself for a negative. But lo and behold, I held up that test, and the rest is history. It was positive, and it was just the most like surreal, exciting, beautiful, overwhelming moment of my life, seeing those 2 lines on the test. It was just incredible. And it didn't really like sink in for a while. I told Davis that day too, and that was so fun. And both of us have just been saying since we found out, this doesn't feel real. Like, is this really happening? We're obviously incredibly thrilled and excited to be here. Yeah, so after finding out on June 16th, I got a little pregnancy app and kind of plugged in my dates to see about where I was at, and it told me 4 weeks and like 3 days, something like that. This is what the app looks like. It's the Pregnancy Plus app. And at week 4, baby is the size of a sesame seed. What? That's so tiny. They are 1/10 of an inch long and 0.004 ounces. So tiny. Okay, so week 4, you ready for this? It looks so strange. Yeah, it's baby. Look, you can kind of move it and look at the different parts. And it says that following implantation, embryonic cells start to differentiate and separate into an embryonic disc and establish 3 primary germ layers. The first layer will form the baby's digestive system, liver, and lungs. The second layer will form the heart, muscles, kidneys, and bones. And the third layer will form the nervous system, hair, skin, and eyes. How cool is that? Like, that is so crazy to think that that's going on inside me. It's such a miracle. So I want to talk a little bit about my 4-week symptoms I had, and emotions I had, and things I've kind of done since finding out. So symptoms, heartburn after eating was definitely a thing. I've been having really vivid dreams. Also my joints have kind of been aching. Nasal congestion, which is not abnormal for me, but it's a little more than usual. What else? Let's see, the most noticeable things are probably the cramping. That's really common for the first few weeks of pregnancy. That has definitely been going on a lot. Not enough to be concerning, it's not super painful, but it just is noticeable, you know? And then along with that, I sort of have that same low backache. Another super noticeable symptom I've had is shortness of breath. Oh my goodness, I read that it's because of the progesterone, in your body. It changes something with the amount of oxygen you take in with each breath, but I am just huffing and puffing all the time, especially if I'm talking a lot like this or just doing some activity. Oh my goodness, so sorry if I'm doing that throughout this entire video. It's just the way it is. And I've also had a little bit of nausea, nothing extreme, haven't thrown up. But I mean, overall, my symptoms so far have been really mild, I would say. So next I want to talk about a couple of things that I've done in that first week that I found out. So like I said, I downloaded the pregnancy app, which has been really fun. I bought a couple of little things just for my first trimester. I got excited, and like I said, it's very early, but they're just kind of things to help me cope with nausea and to help me be extra healthy. Oh, I also scheduled my first ultrasound, my first doctor's appointment. So I scheduled it with the OBGYN I've been seeing, and it's for July 13th, which is the day before my birthday. At that point, I'll be about 8 weeks along. She doesn't normally see people until they're about 8 to 10 weeks, which seems like such a long time, but it's fine. I'm gonna just try my best to be patient. But anyway, that's when my first appointment is, and I'm really looking forward to that. I've also been trying to decide if I want to go the OBGYN route or midwife, because the healthcare provider I go to also does midwives, which is really appealing to me, but I don't know. I'm thinking I'll see how the first appointment goes and then kind of decide from there. We'll see. So that is kind of what's next for me. Oh, also, let me give you a little bump shot. So those beginning pregnancy symptoms have continued. I'm still super bloated, and I just ate lunch, so honestly it kind of looks like I have a little bump, but like I think it's mostly just bloat and food. Yeah. So that's what my belly is looking like so far. I'm so excited for it to grow and get bigger. It's gonna be so cool. Also, we haven't told anybody yet. So the only people that know so far are me, Davis, and my dentist. The story of that is in that finding out video. In the next video, we'll have told a couple of really close friends and both mine and Davis's family, so I am so excited to tell them. We're not going to tell other people until we're quite a bit further along, but I am just, I can't wait to tell them. I know they're going to be so excited for both of our parents. These are their first grandbabies, so another thing to look forward to in the next video. I think I'm going to do these little pregnancy update videos every 2 weeks or so. So this is week 4, then I'll probably do 6, 8, and kind of do a recap of those 2 weeks. And it's kind of a little video diary for me to look back on. I know it'll be cool to think about these things, you know, as our baby gets bigger, and definitely in my next pregnancy too. I bet it'll be fun to compare. If you guys have any questions for me about finding out or symptoms or anything pregnancy or baby wise, please leave them in the comments down below. I'd love to answer some in my next video, or just, you know, reply to your comments. Like I said, I feel so incredibly lucky to be in this place. I pray every single day that our baby grows strong and healthy and big and is just safe and secure in my belly. It's a little scary in the first trimester. I wasn't really anticipating the nerves, but I'm just doing the best I can to be as healthy as I can and just to trust in God and that whatever happens is meant to happen. And that's where I'm at. So I'm excited to see you at the next pregnancy update, 6 weeks. I'm curious what will have changed by then. Like I said, make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss that video. And I will see you in the next one. Bye! Thanks for watching.